You're listening to Fear in the Southwest podcast. This is Drew.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Lewis.
I'm Jason.
Welcome to Fear in the Southwest. What? Changed it a little there.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little. Well, we got a interesting topic today. It is spooky season. You know what's spooky?
Killer clowns.
Killer clowns. You would be correct.
I saw it.
Gumby. Listen to that last episode if you want to know what that's about.
Yeah, we weren't going to bring up Gumby this time around, but you
I
did.
threw
Who
myself in
says?
it.
I was going to try not to. I was going to fail, but I was going to try.
It's the thought that counts. Anyways, so we all have picked some serial killers, except for Jason, who is still Wikipediaing some.
Well, I found one.
Got
I just
called
gotta find a second one.
And he's known about this since last week.
I've been busy with work. That's all I'm saying on that subject.
No more work. Yeah.
We're picking on Jason today, I guess.
He
Lewis
deserves
keeps getting
it.
scaved out of this. He's just like, nah.
Well, I would love to make fun of Lewis, but his old age and experience and wisdom allows him to reflect it away.
You just said old age.
Yes, I did. He's advanced. Ow!
Advanced?
Ancient? What else do you want me to say? Hi, not the knees.
You're saying he was around with the dinosaurs?
Oh my god.
No. He was born after that.
Oh, okay.
First caveman.
Why'd you say ancient?
Cavemen are ancient. You don't know
I'm
that?
sorry, Lewis.
That's okay, because Jason's going to get it.
Anyways. Before we... Thank you for everyone who's been listening to the show, following us. Lots of good episodes coming out. So, keep posted. So, Steph, who is your two?
I go first?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay. Alright, well, one of them is going to be Ted Bundy.
Ooh.
Ted Bundy was pretty... I don't know. He was pretty, that's what got him in trouble, you know? He would seduce women, pretty much. Of course.
Well, Waylon does not like that.
No, he does not like that.
He's like, no, let's not talk about that one.
No, he was creepy, though, because he would act like he was hurt. He would act like he was stranded, and he needed help, and he would go up to a woman and be like, oh, I have a broken arm, my car's broken, and then he would get them to take him to a location where he'd kill them.
Or he would just go attack the women at the frat house in
Yeah, he
Florida.
would do that, yeah. And he did this across, like, a bunch of states around Colorado, Washington, Florida.
And we got the xylophone music in the background.
Yeah, special music there. No, but he confessed to 30 of the murders, but there's no disclosed actual body count. And he decapitated 12 of these people.
Oof.
Yeah. And while he did this, he was in a relationship. He was in a relationship with a woman who had a small child. And he lived with them for many years, and he was doing this. He had a double life.
And he also the girlfriend also didn't believe he's the one doing it.
No, she didn't. She was in complete denial about it, and he even escaped from prison or jail twice.
That was in Colorado, right?
Yeah, he convinced a guard to let him use a phone, and the window was open, and he was very charismatic. He knew how to talk to people, and he went out the window, and he was gone for like a week or two.
Didn't he escape from the jail library too?
Mm-hmm. He's very smart. And he represented himself a lot of the time. Because he had gone to law school. He was a very educated person. So he was handsome, he was educated, and he knew how to talk to people. So he was very dangerous.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, definitely. Jesus.
Talk his way into things and out of things.
Yeah, but he had like a bunch of women who wrote him. He even got married while he was locked up. He had a conjugal visit, and he had a daughter. All while he was locked up.
The man was a creeper.
He was. He really was.
Dang. Smart, witty, and sick.
Yeah, he had gone to school for several things, but never really completed anything.
That sounds like Jason.
Wow.
I eventually get the projects done. I just like to take my time to make sure they're done right.
Well, it sounds like Jason, except for the handsome and
I'm very handsome. How you doing?
educated.
Oh.
I got the smarts where it counts. I'm talking about upstairs, not downstairs. Get your mind out of it.
No, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just going, Lewis has really just pinpointed you today.
I know, what an asshole. See, even Waylon doesn't like you picking on me.
Too bad.
No sympathy.
He's reaching for a sympathy card, and we're all just like, damn.
Laughing at him.
What? No.
It's okay, Jason. It's okay. Everyone around this table gets picked on in this podcast.
That is true.
I pick on myself.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid of Gumby. What the fuck is wrong with that
I
guy?
know.
Well, I just opened a can of worms, didn't I?
Oh, yeah.
But who else do we got on the list here?
Oh, you ready for me now?
Yeah.
The killer clown, John Wayne Gacy.
Oh.
One sick, demented dude.
Right. Yeah.
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 Very, very sick.
It takes a lot to disturb me, and I watched a documentary on him, and I had to turn it off for a little bit and take a break because of some of this stuff.
Yeah, he deserved the death penalty.
Oh, yeah.
Death.
He was one of the last. He was one of the last in Illinois to actually get the death penalty carried out on him too. So, but yeah, he was sick,
He was sick. He was.
and he would dress as a clown for kids' parties.
Yes, that was disturbing.
And I'm looking at a picture of him. Well, trying to
In his clown gear.
in his clown gear.
Hey, it looks totally normal in clown gear. Like any old birthday clown. Never would suspect. If memory serves.
Let me.
It's his eyes. There's something in his eyes that are.
Oh, the internet is being silly on me.
You never look into a clown's eyes.
No,
Never look. No matter, even if it's a circus clown who are known to be, friendly and not serial killers, or any birthday clowns, you never look in their eyes because you're always going to see something that may be there, may not be there. In his case, it was there, of course.
Yeah.
But sometimes people, as well associate, especially thanks to him, they'll associate when they look into the eyes and they'll think that, oh my God, this is another John Wayne Gacy.
yeah, well, especially with his eyes because he's got the big
Yeah.
blue. Ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he called himself Pogo.
Pogo.
Pogo the clown. Why anybody would hire him as a clown? Yeah. But he also owned a construction company.
Yes, he owned a company, and he used that to his advantage to get a hold of things that help
Yeah.
decompose and conceal things under his.
And also to lure the high school
Yeah.
kids and the college kids that he would hire. He ended up killing 33 of them.
Yep.
And it's just, ugh. But he would sexually assault them and
Yes,
all
he
that.
was. He tortured those people. He
Yeah.
did horrible things to them. And that's something in the documentary that he actually talked about what he did. And there's no remorse. There's no I don't know why I did that. It was more like
Yeah.
he really got off on that. It was just gross.
Yeah, but his modus operandi, or MO, was to ply youth with drinks, drugs, so that they would get his trust,
And rock and roll.
and then he would produce a pair of handcuffs to show a magic trick.
Yeah, I'm like, no one's gonna handcuff me ever.
Yeah, some people like to be handcuffed.
I'm about to say.
Some people actually enjoy that.
Yeah. That is
No,
true.
after knowing
But-
that, no.
But
Well,
he
you gotta
took
get
it,
rid of the fuzzy handcuffs, Bo.
he took it way too far. He took.
It was empty.
Quit throwing monster cans at me, please.
That wasn't me. That was the ghost.
But yeah,
They were mad about the fuzzy handcuffs.
apparently his first murder was a kid by the name of Timothy McCoy. In 1972, and it just started from there. And but he buried 26 of his 33 victims underneath his house.
Underneath his, and he was married, right? He was married.
Yeah, he was
And
married.
had a family, and it's like,
Yeah,
and I don't know.
and let's see, he was married to a woman by the name of Marilyn Myers. Divorced her in 1969, and then he was married to Carol Hoff until 1976 when she dumped his ass.
He probably was a freak.
But he'd already been arrested in Iowa before any of this happened as a teenager for sodomy.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Jesus.
and then in Illinois he was convicted for 33 counts of murder and indecent liberties with a child, and he was also considered deviant sexual assault. So yeah, and he was imprisoned like 45 minutes from my house
Oh, that's scary.
in a
That's
place
really
called
scary.
Menard Correctional Center. Yeah, he was just disgusting.
That is disgusting. And you know what's crazy is there were so many reports of missing children, missing teenagers, and they didn't have the forensics back then that they did now. And there's like up until like the 2000s, they were still putting body parts to DNA and figuring out who belonged to who.
Yeah,
And there's one woman whose son went missing during that time frame that encountered him, but they have not found his body. So those are just the bodies they found.
Right.
Like, who knows? He probably experimented beforehand. Who knows where he's put
he
bodies?
probably ate part of them too.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm kicking you.
It's fine. Go ahead and kick them all day long.
She was talking about Andrew.
No, I was kicking you. I thought
No,
I
you
was.
weren't.
I was kicking something.
You were kicking Jason.
Wasn't me. I'm all the way over here. Her legs can't reach me.
Thanks.
But,
Sorry.
but we don't ever have to worry about Gacy again because in 1984 he was sent from Menard Correctional Facility to Stateville Prison up by Chicago and given lethal injection.
Yeah, that was too smooth. He needed electric chair.
Now, they needed the chop him up
Yeah, he needed. Yeah, he was. They needed.
while
to
he
go,
was living.
They need to go medieval, you know, where they like quarter you,
Yeah,
disembowel you,
while you're alive. Yep.
cut off your privies and burn them before you. You know?
Yeah.
And they're saying that the victim count could be as high as 45.
Oh, I believe it's probably higher. They all start somewhere.
And they think he might have had a accomplice or two, but he was still sick.
And you know, I did do this research on people a long time ago where sometimes their accomplice is their significant other.
Yeah.
And if they get them in that mindset and to do anything with them, they can lure those boys. Oh, like, let's have them over for dinner. And
And the Amber Alert is because of John Wayne Gacy. Because before a missing child could be sent statewide, they had to wait 72 hours.
I have believed that, yeah.
That is no longer the case. And Illinois is the one that did away with that requirement for it to be 72 hours for a missing person.
Yeah, because they're usually killed within 48 hours of being...
It's was it now 24 hours, I think.
So within 6 hours, they are hurt, you know, and then within 12 hours, they are usually... Yeah.
Yeah.
Been 24 to 48 hours they're found, whether they're dead or alive.
Ah.
So within 6 hours of being captured, someone's usually assaulted in some way.
Oh, dear God. Did I just say Peppa Pig? Ugh.
No Peppa.
Okay.
How do you even know what Peppa Pig is?
I've heard it talked about.
That's what he says.
Ooh.
Oh, my leg, that hurt. What?
What happened?
I got kicked.
That wasn't me.
No, I know it wasn't you.
That's me.
That's for the delayed response.
Anyways. So, Killer Clown is creepy.
Yes.
That's beyond creepy.
Yeah, that
It's
fits.
why people are probably more terrified of clowns. They're kind of interesting to look at to begin with, but then just knowing that they can go to kids' parties and then hide you in the bottom of their house is pretty scary.
God.
In a crawl space of all places.
Yeah, crawl
Ew.
space. It's stinky, you know? Like,
Ooh.
but-
Gross.
Oh, that one was especially stinky after he got done.
yeah, it was.
Ugh.
Gross. All right, Jason, who's your first one?
I think I gotta go with Richard Chase. He was also known by his nickname, the Vampire of Sacramento.
Oh.
He was a serial killer, cannibal, and necrophilia
Yeah.
who killed 6 people. He also liked to drink his victims' blood and eat them.
Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah.
Okay, the necrophilia is where he's actually doing them
Where they
after
have
they're
sex
dead.
Having-
with a dead body.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he developed hypochondria as he was getting older, around his teenage years. He often complained that his heart would occasionally stop beating, or that someone stole his pulmonary artery. Yeah.
Someone just stole it, man.
He also would hold oranges to his head,
Oranges.
believing that the vitamin C could be diffused into his brain directly that way.
Oh, wow.
And that his cranial muscles were not fused together, but they were separate and moving, so he would actually shave his head to try and watch that happening.
Did you say this guy earlier was in the military?
No.
Okay.
Hypochondria. Thank God he was never in the military.
Yeah, that, no.
Yeah.
There's some pretty nutty people in the army, though. So.
Yeah.
Not that bad, though.
He was in 76 involuntarily committed to a mental hospital.
And they didn't keep him?
Well, the reason he was hospitalized first time and he was nicknamed Dracula was because he was caught injecting rabbit's blood into his veins.
Oh.
Oh.
He didn't die?
Apparently not. No.
Oh, man.
So he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah, that's what
and
I was
after
saying. That's
going
what he
a
sounds
battery of treatments with psychotropic drugs, they deemed him no longer a
A danger?
danger to society. So they released him to his mother, who
She's probably crazy, too.
she weaned him off his medication. Now his medication was actually keeping him sane, normal, and potentially could become the benefit to society, a productive person. Now instead she weaned him off that shit. Got him his own apartment and everything,
So she should be charged with murder, too.
Well, in '77, a year after he was released and was being weaned off, they did find him in a reservation in Pyramid Lake, Nevada. His body was completely smeared with blood, and he had a bucket of blood in his truck, which they tested and found out to be cow's blood. So there was no charges were filed at all, because apparently cow doesn't have the same rights as humans.
It's still the effort to go into slaughter a cow in the blood.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, his first murder though, he did a stereotypical thing, a drive-by shooting.
no.
Yeah, his very first murder was just a drive-by. Not a whole lot. Although 2 weeks later, he attempted to enter a woman's home, but when he found the door locked, he just walked away. Because he told the police this: a locked door means I am not welcome. An unlocked door is an invitation for me to enter.
See, that's why I always lock the door.
I think actually it's probably this guy is the reason why society started locking the door.
Yeah, you have to.
Let's see. He was caught and chased off by a couple returning home while he was pilfering their belongings, and he urinated and defecated on the infant child's bed and clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sick.
Oh, I don't think Waylon liked that one at all.
He was like, no, that doesn't sound fun. Don't bring that guy around.
No.
I would go, but I'm stuck with you.
Do it.
Here, there we go.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm like tangled in cords.
Let's see. In 1978, he broke into a house and shot a woman who was 3 months pregnant
Oh, that's fucked up.
3 times. Then he had sexual intercourse with her corpse while stabbing her with a butcher's
Ew,
knife.
that is disgusting because
Wait a minute.
because when you're pregnant and you die, the baby comes out and he's trying to have sex with it. That's terrible.
And I think that's the reason why he was probably stabbing her with a
That
butcher's
is
knife,
a
was trying to
sick
cut it out. Well, he also
person.
removed multiple organs, cut off one of her nipples,
Oh my gosh.
drank
Sorry.
her blood.
Jesus.
I didn't mean to do that. You
Hey,
said that.
I didn't hit the pinnacle yet. He shoved dog feces down her her throat.
Butt
No, her
or
throat.
throat.
He went out to the yard, grabbed a bunch of dog feces, and shoved it down her throat of her body.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
This guy is worse than Gacy.
Yeah, you picked a real one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then
No, like a freaking.
then 4 days later,
Oh gosh.
he enters the home of a 38-year-old woman named Evelyn Meredith. He also encountered her friend Danny Meredith, whom he shot with a .22 handgun. Then he fatally shot the woman, shot her 6-year-old son Jason. Yeah. And 22-month-old nephew.
What a sicko.
He mutilated and engaged necrophilia and cannibalism with the woman's corpse. But he didn't go any further with them because there was a knock at the door, which scared him away. But he did go and grab the 22-month-old baby's body,
Oh god.
jumped in the woman's car, and drove away.
That's disgusting.
The neighbor had, alerted when he saw them run away and everything and looked a little bloody. He immediately alerted police, who broke into the house, or they opened the door of the house, found all the blood, but he left his fingerprint, her handprints, and footprints all over the house in the blood because he didn't have enough time to clean up after himself.
Yeah.
So they were arrested shortly afterwards, and when they searched his apartment, they found that the walls, floor, ceiling, refrigerator, and all his eating and drinking utensils were completely soaked in blood.
Yeah.
Gross.
That
Yeah.
apartment complex had to be burned down.
Well, his defense team, when he was brought to trial,
He had a defense.
tried to go and have him be convicted of second-degree murder, so he'd only get a life sentence and not first degree, and not get the death penalty. Because they were trying to use his insanity with his, mental illness from the past. Yeah, jury said, fuck no, this guy's a sicko. He's just going straight to, no, first degree all the way.
For real.
Yeah, let's see. His fellow inmates actually tried to persuade him to commit suicide because they were fucking scared of this guy.
Yes, and that's the one thing I read about serial killers. I get afraid of them in there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pulling on you. I'm
Let's see.
over here.
Oh, he also ended up speaking about a fear of Nazis and UFOs. In fact, he actually asked the guards for a radar gun so he could, what was it? Oh, yeah. He could apprehend the Nazi UFOs. So
With
when
a
the
radar
Nazis
gun?
Yeah. He wanted the Nazis to stand trial, so he wanted to use a radar gun to apprehend them. I think the boy just... High five, buddy. Yeah!
You're good.
No, I see why. No, I see why he's not talking a whole lot. He doesn't want his voice sound like this.
Good job, Waylon.
Oh, yeah, also he would take a bunch of macaroni and cheese and stuff it in his
Macaroni
pockets.
cheese.
Yeah, he actually gave it to this guy named Robert Wessler, who was doing an interview with him, in an attempt to poison him because he believed that the prison officials were in league with the Nazis. Thankfully, though, he did actually kill himself in prison via overdose of prescribed medications. Now, whether it was intentional or not, who knows? I don't really think any of the officials really cared at the time.
How was he able to get enough prescription medication to overdose? Because usually
normally that
jails is
they bring you into the hospital wing under heavy guard, and the nurse goes and gives it
Yeah.
to you then. My guess is he probably, instead of swallowing it, would do that tuck the pill under your tongue thing and then swallow the water.
Oh, yeah.
And then later on, he could, he'd spit it out when he gets back to the room, and then stockpile it up.
Yeah, and then people would, and then he would take it.
And then he could take
When he
it
had
at his
enough.
leisure when he didn't, if he was really starting to fear the zombie or the alien
Aliens.
Nazis. Oh, the film from 1987 called Rampage was actually made based upon his crimes.
Oh, I've seen advertisements for it.
the Wild Wayland is back again.
Discovery had a TV special in 2011 called Lore Deadly Obsession, which was a reenactment of his crimes.
Oh, I used to watch that show. I don't remember that episode, but I'll have to find it now.
Oh, the 2009 Church of Misery song, never heard the band, Blood-Sucking Freak, is all about Richard Chase.
Oh, man, he has quite the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why
And
would
then-
anybody want to be fans of him, though?
I don't know. People are sick.
They are.
They just...
Well, again, I never heard of the band, so...
They send
No.
dirty
that was
things
it.
in prison. And
Church of Misery. Who the hell are these? Oh,
They
they're a
sick.
Japanese doom band from Tokyo. That explains
That explains
it right
that
there.
one.
Mm-hmm.
That explains that right there in every way.
Although the Shushu, spelled Xiu, is an American experimental rock band. So we can't really blame just the Japanese on that one. We also
Yeah.
have an American rock band who does experiments.
oh,
What the hell does that mean, experimental rock band?
I have no clue. Probably don't want to know.
it's probably just noise. Just
Oh, it's a music genre that pushes existing boundaries and genre definitions.
No thanks.
Ah, that explains it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all went and had a friggin' song called House Sparrow, which was about this guy who was sick. I don't know. This guy is kind of a close contender with both y'all's.
yeah.
If you think about it, I think actually might beat yours.
Yeah, it beats mine.
In sickness, I think he beats yours. You just had, well, I don't think he quite got John Wayne Gacy, though.
Not yet. He's kind of up there, though.
Only because-
It's pretty
He's
close.
up there.
I think it's only because he didn't have enough victims. If he would have had
He
more
didn't
victims...
have enough victims, but what they did with him was sick. Just
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
the pregnant thing and the
Oh.
yeah.
And the cannibalism, I don't think
Yeah.
John Wayne Gacy even went that far.
I don't think he did. I don't think he was accountable.
Ugh.
I think
It's just disturbing
it is disturbing.
on every aspect. Yeah.
Well, I was asked to find a good one.
That is a good one. That is a good one. I never heard of him before. And it's funny because I've
Neither
seen
did I.
that show that you were talking about.
But since we are waiting on Andrew and the Wild Wayland to
Let's try quick.
come back into the room, how about your second choice?
Oh, so my second choice was Richard Ramirez, who is known as the Night Stalker.
Oh,
And he
Okay.
terrorized the Southern California, LA area in the 80s. And he's also a reason why people started deadbolts, deadbolting their doors. Because back then, friendly community,
oh yeah. No one
walk
locked
right
the door.
in, the windows open, and he would take the husband, tie him up, rape the wife or child,
Oh, Jesus.
or both, have him listen, and then he would brutalize him and beat him.
Eat him?
Beat.
Oh, beat him. I thought you said
But you
eat
know
him.
what he would do? He would tie them up, and then he'd go to their fridge and eat a snack. He'd drink their juice. He'd
Well,
eat
that's
their
just rude.
sandwiches. He would defecate on their floor, pee everywhere, write stuff in blood, and then he would leave. But then he almost got caught. Someone escaped and fought him. So then he started murdering them.
Didn't he
Yeah.
also? Didn't he also put a stack of plates on the husband
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, he did some messed up stuff.
so that he would hear if the husband was trying to get away?
Yeah. And, you know, he was just disgusting.
So originally he didn't start out just to kill people.
No.
He just
He
wanted
was-
an outlet for his
he wanted
whatever.
to rape. Yeah, and he wanted the man to suffer hearing the family being raped.
Oh,
And he would rape them for hours. Like, he would spend all night in their home and then just leave the next day like nothing. And someone fought him, they shot at him, and then he started carrying a gun. That's what instigated him to carry a gun. And then he started killing them after that.
It took him forever to catch him too.
It took, and you know who caught him? The community. The community, like, barricaded him and started beating him with baseball bats, and he was actually safer with the police than he was with the community.
Yeah.
And, you know, he got caught. His picture finally got released out there. Someone saw him at a bus stop. He was actually coming from Tucson when he got caught.
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
coming
Jesus.
from frickin' Tucson. And it makes you wonder, like, what kind of cases may have happened back then that weren't put together towards him, you know? Because
Well,
they didn't communicate.
was he leaving Tucson or did he?
He was leaving Tucson. He had family here.
Right.
And he was here, and when he went back to LA, someone recognized his picture from the bus. He was chased off the bus, went running into a community, and they all were like, that's the Night Stalker. And they all came out, and they chased him, and they started to...
Started to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, and then the cops came, and the cops had to fight this mob of people to get to him.
Yeah. It took forever for him to get caught, though.
It did. And they said that he would visit a library and get things on satanic rituals, on Satanism, torture, medieval torture, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just evil.
He was just disgusting. And they said he smelled really horrible.
Yeah, I would.
Every person described his smell of, like, just awful.
Well, looking at a picture of him,
He
I
was
can
a-
see that. Because, yeah.
Ugh.
He wasn't attractive, but because of, he had women sending him underwear, their bras, pictures of them naked.
For some
And
reason,
it's like, what? These people get that.
I just looked at the other picture from. No.
No, and he's got some jacked up teeth. Right there, he's not smiling, but he's got some jacked
No,
up
we
teeth.
saw that with the other picture. I think he was smiling.
No.
Oh, no, he didn't show his teeth
No, he
either.
didn't.
But he was smiling. He just didn't show his teeth in that second
And
one
he
with the longer
first
hair.
started, he kidnapped a young girl. He took her to a park. He took her to his apartment. He sexually assaulted her for hours. And then I think he left her back at that park. He spared her life, but messed her up forever. And that's where he started this.
How old was she?
I believe she was 8.
Oh, yeah, she's fucked up for life.
Yeah.
Some people are just
Yeah. It's just-
sick. And the women that follow.
Mm-hmm.
The women that follow people like him, I don't understand.
The fact they gave Ted Bundy conjugal visits, they let him reproduce. They let him have a chance to reproduce somebody.
Yeah, that makes.
Like, what
Wonder
the
whatever
hell
happened.
are they thinking?
I don't know. Wonder what happened to his kids, though.
She's probably like my age now, because this
Well,
happened
hopefully
in like
she's
the
changed
80s,
her name and
late
tried
80s.
to bury any...
Right? Who wants their dad to be
like,
serial
"Who's your dad?"
rapist, murders, decapitator, you know?
It's like, hey, aren't you Bundy's kids? Yep, that I am. It's like, you're proud of that? Yep, that I am. Okay, police, we got another one. Yo,
Yeah.
someone call the paddy wagon. The guys with the white coats. Son, bitch.
The Night Stalker was another creepy one.
He was. And he would break in through windows. He would break... And you know what's crazy? He had a certain type of shoe that was rare, and they got a print from the mud, and that's how they were able to determine who got it. They went through the whole shoe base of who bought this freaking shoe in the last year.
Yeah.
That's
That's
how,
not the only forensic they had
Yeah.
back in the day because they didn't have
Mm-hmm.
DNA or.
Well, at least it's a good thing that it was a particular or a specialty type of shoe.
Yeah.
That helps narrow down the search, because if it's a generic one, Oh, I feel so bad for those detectives because they're going. All right, we got to go interview. Okay, here's our list, boys, and they hand out like sheets of 20 names. You go to this person. You go to this group. You go to that group. All right, fan out. Start checking people's shoes. Like coming back like, I have looked at 30 pairs of shoes today. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning. I still got another 8 hours of this shit.
And he had family in Arizona, and he had family in Northern California, like Sacramento area. And so when he would visit them, he would do this thing over there.
Yeah.
And the cops didn't communicate because, they were so far away from each other. They didn't make a correlation like,
And
hey,
and they
there's
didn't have
this
the
guy.
databases
No, they
like they
didn't.
do now.
That's probably one of the reasons why they now are communicating better.
Yeah,
Is because of that shit.
They cross state
that and a
lines
lot
and
of,
counties and stuff.
That and a lot of cold cases, as they've been, the technology's been coming up, they've been solving them all. They determined, if we couldn't solve this because it was found, 3 states over. They didn't really communicate, or it just took forever for someone to drive across the states, then come back with the information. And,
But now we have the computer databases that make things a lot easier.
Yeah.
Especially with fingerprints and footprints, because they actually have a database for footprints.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And they've got the database for the shoes
The shoes, yeah.
and vehicle tires. If they,
Oh, yeah. Vehicle tires are what solved a lot of
vehicle
cases.
tires,
Yeah.
palm prints have their own separate database.
Even like this,
Mm-hmm.
just putting your hand like that.
Yeah.
The
They can
blood
get that
smudge.
partial. They can get that
Partial
partial print from the palm. But I've got one that will make you never want to go to a hospital again.
Oh.
A registered nurse killed, they think, around 133 people.
Oh, my God. That's a lot of people.
Because in a 2-year period at that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That is a lot of people.
It is from 1993 to 1995. He wasn't caught until 97. But
Almost like he killed someone every other day.
yeah,
Oh.
they were saying deaths went up at the hospital he was at. They were more. He was at Vermilion County Hospital in Terre Haute, Indiana, home of the federal death penalty. He was only charged with state stuff, so. But yeah, he would inject patients with potassium
Oh, my
or
gosh.
potassium, insulin, or anything
Yeah,
he
he'd
could get his
do-
hands on. And
Something
kill
that
him.
would look like their kidneys just failed naturally
Yeah.
or their pancreas just.
So he was on duty. Well, there was another nurse, the nursing supervisor. She decided to check the time cards to see who was working. And she found out for 130 deaths of 147 in the hospital between 1993 and 1995, he was the only one on every
Working,
one of
yeah.
those shifts. So she called the Indiana State Police. But the funny part, the state nursing board only suspended his license for 5 years.
For 5 years, that's it?
That was it.
Oh, my God.
So, but he wasn't convicted. He wasn't apprehended until 1997. And he had worked at a hospital in Kentucky before that. So there could have been deaths in the Kentucky hospital too, and nobody actually caught on. But whenever he was on duty, they would have people dying from the potassium overdoses or insulin. And
Jesus.
He was just evil.
He was, yeah.
He was only convicted of 7 murders, though.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but with those 7 murders, well, first, the hospital, Vermilion County Hospital, was renamed.
I bet they had to do that.
Yeah, they had to do that. And the hospital was fined $80,000 because they let somebody do something stupid.
Yeah, and those families probably demanded money.
Oh, yeah.
Demanded money for the.
He tried to appeal a sentence, which was, he was convicted. I'm sorry, he was only charged with 7. They believed he killed 100 to 130 people.
Oh.
But only convicted of 6 because the jury deadlocked on a 7th because the victim took longer to die than the others.
It's probably because they were healthy.
Yeah. So he was sentenced to 6 consecutive terms of 60 years. The maximum possible penalty under Indian law at the time. They could only sentence a person to 60 years for murder. Yeah. Which is just crazy. But he had to serve them all consecutively. So back to back to back to back for, I think they said 360 years. So, the man ain't going to get out of jail.
No.
No, definitely
That's
not.
his resting place.
They might as well just bury it,
Yeah. At that point, they might as well just.
kill him and get it over with.
Yeah. And that's so crazy. It took that long for them to
Catch
figure that
on.
out. Because I used to work in the vet field. Well, and, one of my jobs was to be in charge of controlled drugs, controlled drug logs and stuff. And we had to log everything. And we had to put initials, put times, dates, everything. And if something went kind of missing, something went kind of haywire, we went directly to that date, who got that drug, which animal got that drug. And it's crazy that, he went and this is a human place,
Yeah.
human hospital.
Yeah.
And it took that long for them to be like, hey, there's a lot of people freaking dying here.
There's people dying here and nobody's catching it. Weird.
That's terrible.
Now, Jason, have you picked up a second person? Since we still do not have Andrew.
I think I did. I came about this close to picking one that he'd already picked, so I had to go, whoop, 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 whoop. Gotta move away. My second one, I picked this one because it was interesting, nickname. Her name is Nanny Doss, or she was born Nancy Hazel. She was America's serial killer responsible for the deaths of 11 people between 1920 and 1954. She was referred to as the Giggling Granny, the Lonely Hearts Killer, the Black Widow, and Lady Bluebeard. Yeah, Bluebeard, okay.
Sound like a pirate.
Did she have a beard? Because I know
She
some
used
women
cyanide?
No.
No.
No beard.
I know some women can grow them.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. She confessed to the murders in 1954 after her 5th husband had died in a small hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She revealed she had killed 4 husbands, 2 children, 2 of her sisters, her mother, 2 grandsons, and a mother-in-law.
She killed 2 of her own children?
And 2 of her grandchildren.
Oh, what a sick bitch. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, she killed 2 children, but I don't
We
know.
are an adult-rated show.
Oh, what a sick bitch. Let's see.
Did you say she killed her mother-in-law?
Yes.
Well,
So that's a dream come true for some women.
Yes. But she also killed her own mother. Technically, that could also be a dream come true for some women, too, I heard. Or maybe that's just from the movies. I don't know.
She
just be the
killed her
movies.
own mother?
Yes.
killed her mother, her
2 of
mother-in-law.
her sisters.
So anyone that was close to her, she was like, I'm going to kill you.
Wow.
I understand the Black Widow
What a bitch.
term. Yeah.
I'm glad my siblings never felt that way about me.
Well, I can't say the same, but
I just don't talk to my siblings.
Well, at the age of 9, while taking a train through southern Alabama, she ended up hitting her head on the metal bar of the seat in front of her when the train suddenly had stopped. And for years, she suffered severe headaches, blackouts, and depression. She, of course, blamed that for her mental instability on that accident. Her mental instability. What happened? Let's
Need the device to keep an eye on the wild wailing.
little.
She was first married at the age of 16. to Charlie Braggs.
I thought you said Charlie Brown.
She got her father's approval to be married after only 4 months of dating. Progressive back in the 20s, huh?
He was probably tired of dealing with her
Yeah,
ass.
he was probably like, this girl is creepy. Get her out of my house.
Had she already killed her mom?
She's going to kill her mama and her sisters.
No. But her first husband was a bit of a mama's boy. She took up a lot of his attention and limited to what Nanny could do. All her activities. They produced 4 daughters from 1923 to 1927.
And she killed 2
That's
of
a
them.
daughter a year.
Yeah.
Damn.
She was popping
She probably
out.
had postpartum psychosis.
Well, she was stressed out, more than likely thanks to that. Started drinking, casual smoking, and became a heavy addiction. Both unhappy partners correctly suspected each other infidelity, and Braggs often disappeared for days on end. Let's see. They lost 2 of the middle girls due to food poisoning. So yeah, it was her own 2 children. Let's see. She took the firstborn daughter and fled, leaving the newborn behind with
Is he
the father.
barking?
He's playing.
Sounds like he's barking.
He might. I did teach him that.
Let's see. Oh, the mother-in-law did die not much later. Yeah, so mother-in-law died later.
So she didn't really...
Well, it's unknown. Again,
She didn't take a gun or a knife and kill him.
She poisoned.
So far, no.
poisoned them.
She poisoned them, yeah.
A lot of women poison when you research their
the
methods.
women
of
like to
killing.
use
poison,
arsenic.
Stage an accident.
Yeah, women are just... women are creative.
I'm like, I've never tried to kill you. They are creative. Some women go as far as being like voodoo. Like,
She may dream about it.
She got married just a year after her divorce from the first guy.
that happens.
She was probably seeing the guy.
Yeah. He was
Well,
probably
yeah, they were correct. Remember, I said correctly suspected of infidelity.
So yeah, he's probably.
But of course, she discovered that her second husband was an alcoholic with a criminal record for assault. Yet somehow, the marriage lasted for 16 years.
Until she kills him.
Let's see. Well, she gave birth to a son with another baby followed 2 years later, but died soon afterwards, probably from poisoning.
Did she not know how to keep her legs closed?
Back then,
Yeah.
there wasn't much to do.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misread the name. This was actually her daughter.
Oh.
This was her daughter who gave birth to the son, and the child 2 years later. But while she was groggy and exhausted from the labor, groggy from the ether, they used actual ether on them. Not that safe shit no more. Not that safe shit they use now.
Yeah.
But she thought she saw her mother actually stick a hairpin into the head of the newborn baby.
Oh, that's
Or
terrible.
her mother do it, yeah. When she asked her husband, and of course, her sister, hey, what happened to my newest born baby? They said, well, Ma said it died.
Oh, that's awful.
But they did know she was holding a pin. They noticed the mother was holding a pin.
So she probably had
What a
arsenic in the pin.
Yeah. And did a quick stick.
But the
or-
doctors
bitch.
couldn't give a positive explanation as to why the child died.
Yeah, and back then they didn't have
They didn't have the
autopsies.
autopsies.
The advancements they do now.
Yeah, they couldn't just go and stick them through a
Yeah.
CAT scan or something there and
Yeah, and
notice, hey,
find
there's
those
a
small
hole
things.
right there in the head.
That's terrible.
And of course, her and her husband they drifted apart. She started dating a soldier. Let's see. Nanny disapproved of him. Not sure why. Her son, Robert, and because, the mother did not like the soldier's son, or the soldier that was dating her, while the daughter was off visiting her father after a nasty fight with her mother, her son Robert died mysteriously under her care. The death was diagnosed as asphyxia from unknown causes, and 2 months later, she collected the $500 life insurance she had taken out on him.
She probably drugged the shit out of him and then put a pillow over his face. Yeah.
Only $500?
Back then, that was...
Yeah.
It's still kind of low.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
And of course, her husband of 16 years decided to rape her in 45. So she got even. She put rat poison in his corn whiskey jar, and he died later that evening. Yeah. Don't fuck with this bitch. Let's see. She met her third husband through the Lonely Hearts column while traveling in Lexington, North Carolina. I married him 3 days later. Oh, that's the fastest one.
3 days later?
3 days later.
Sometimes...
3 days of dating. Bam. Married.
Oh, my.
Someone is really unhappy.
The Wild Waylon is pissed off right now. Okay. We should probably move on to Andrew, because he has not told us any of his choices for serial killers today. And we've been going for almost an hour.
True.
Oh my gosh.
She also died in prison from leukemia, so she wasn't executed.
Wow. Our episode, and we haven't gotten to my 2 yet.
All right. Let's hear 'em.
Andrew, we give it to you.
Yes. Take it away, MC.
Oh, okay. I chose Jeffrey Dahmer.
One sick puppy.
Yeah. That's one way of describing it. Yeah, one sick puppy.
Yeah.
Guy grew up in a dysfunctional family, turned into eating people. And my mic just died.
I was going to say, I was not hearing you.
Yeah, it was fine a minute ago. Now
There he goes.
How about now? Ah.
There you are.
Yeah, so Jeffrey Dahmer.
One sick puppy.
One sick puppy. Grew up dysfunctional. Family ended up living with his grandma. Did some killings there. Hey, everything's okay, Grandma.
Just because you live in a dysfunctional family doesn't mean you need to do the stuff that you do sometimes.
True. He actually beats my guy.
He beats your guy.
No, he beat in terms of how sick he is. Yeah, he got my guy beat.
So he would hang out in like clubs, and he would literally pick out homosexual men.
Yeah, that's definitely a face for a dark
Bring him to the
place.
house, make him watch something, and then kill him.
And then he'd eat them.
And then eat him, dismember the body. The neighbor would hear all the noise.
Yeah, that's definitely a face that belongs in a dark back room that nobody should ever see.
Yeah. So that was. Let's see how many. I had it pulled up. Hold on.
Although in the 70s, he looked pretty normal.
He did. Yeah, he did. There's actually a really good movie called My Friend Dahmer that goes back into his, teenage years and what he was like.
Ow. It popped. Oh.
He was also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster. Let's see. His cause of death, homicide by bludgeoning. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the inmates in the prison
The inmates
beat
are
the
the ones.
shit out of him.
and he died.
He would play recordings of a whale, and it sounded like a person moaning, like dying. And he would play that every night, and he would freak out the other inmates. And so they plotted to kill him. And they killed him in the gym. He was bludgeoned to death. Him and another inmate were bludgeoned to death with a weight.
They should have done it in his room and turned on the whale songs. So that way, everybody would hear and go, oh, God, he's doing it again. When the prison guards come to investigate, go, hey, you shut that off. Oh, my God, he's dead. But everybody's already locked up. Do it right before, they lock the cells. Go in there, beat them to death, turn on the whale songs, then everybody quickly file out. Get to your cells. Okay. Everybody gets locked up like, Dahmer, turn that shit up. Oh, my God, he's dead. Open the cell. Click. Turn that shit off.
You know what's crazy?
The ding remedied that.
Was
That's pretty cool.
he was actually baptized, right, as a Christian the day that Gacy was executed or something like
Yep.
that.
Wow.
The day Gacy was executed, he was baptized as a Christian. Yeah.
17 total victims. His span of his crimes from 78 to 91. He was sentenced life imprisonment without the possibility of parole, times 16, for a total of 941 years in prison.
And he didn't even make it like 5 years.
No, he
No,
didn't.
he
No,
didn't.
they killed his ass.
He was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, schizotypical personality disorder, and psychotic disorder.
But somehow he made it into the army.
He did, but he was dishonorably discharged because he was drugging his
Patience.
fellow, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where he learned about drugs. That's where he learned how
That's
to
where he learned his
utilize drugs, anesthesia, how
he would
to
sedate his victims.
Yeah, and then as a kid, his dad would take him hunting, and
That's how he learned how to.
we have our own whale songs in the background.
I'm here.
But
Yep.
yeah, that's where he learned how to do stuff like that, and he would rape. Yeah,
And he had a
would
thing
rape
for
men
like
in there.
dead animals, like that started at a young age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was sick.
Very sick.
He was beat to death by Christopher Scarver, a fellow inmate in Wisconsin.
And then they made a movie about him.
Movies,
Movies.
TV series, Netflix series, which was
Yeah.
pretty good, especially if you're an Evan Peters fan.
And plenty of books about him, too.
Oh yeah, tons. This man was sick,
Yes, he was.
sick.
Nasty, nasty, nasty.
He liked to play with animal bones and call them his fiddlesticks.
Yes.
His fiddlesticks, yeah. Yeah, he was sick. It started at a very young age, and
It did.
did
It
not get any
really-
better.
His mother was pretty much afraid of him. And she abandoned him his senior year of high school. And she left him in the house to fend for himself. His father had left, married a woman, didn't realize he had been left by himself. And so that also started some trauma for him and his obsession with
But he was
fitness. He was obsessed with fitness. And so he liked fit men. And he would go look for men that had this like statuesque.
Speaking of which, his first murder in 78 happened to be a hitchhiker named Stephen Mark Hicks, who was almost 19. Dahmer lured Hicks to his house on the pretext of drinking. Hicks, who had been hitchhiking to a rock concert at Chippewa Lake Park, Ohio, agreed to accompany Dahmer to his house upon the promise of a few beers with Dahmer, as he had the house to himself. According to Dahmer, the sight of the bare-chested Hicks standing on the roadside stirred his sexual feelings, although when Hicks began talking about girls, he knew that any sexual passes he made would be rebuffed. After several hours of talking, drinking, and listening to music, Hicks wanted to leave, and I didn't want him to leave, so he bludgeoned him with a 10-pound dumbbell.
just because he wouldn't have sex with him.
Yeah. And then the following day, he dissected his body in the
Yeah,
basement.
He did.
Ugh.
And the smell.
And he dissolved the flesh in acid before flushing the solution down the toilet.
Ugh. Yeah.
Well, the acid will help clear out the drain if there's any kind of clogs.
That's disgusting.
Yes, it is. That's very disgusting.
The plumbers having to deal with that.
Well, yeah, when he
Yeah.
did get complaints of smells. That's what got him.
Yeah, I bet you.
Yeah, that's just disgusting.
You know what got him out of the military? His off-duty drinking caused him to be deemed unsuitable for military service.
That's probably because he was
1981.
he was probably also trying to, because he was in Germany, so he was probably having sex with German men.
Yep. He served as a combat medic.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him working on me.
Oh, hell no.
And where that's how he got all this stuff.
That's how he got all his knowledge of how to drug people,
And dissect them.
how to dissect them,
Yep.
where to get them. Because he performed experiments on people.
Mm-hmm.
He would drill holes in their head and pour acid in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were conscious. They were just heavily
Yeah.
sedated.
Yuck.
Anyway, so yeah, that one sick puppy.
Yeah.
One sick puppy.
And who was your other one?
Joseph James D'Angelo, the Golden State Killer.
He started out as the Golden State Rapist, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He did. And then he was also a police officer.
Yeah, he was a sick puppy too, because he knew how to cover the tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how they didn't catch that hint because he was always like, "Did you get him? Like, what's going on?" Like he was always following his crimes,
Yeah.
and then he was always trying to figure out what did they know? What do they know? Have they figured it out yet?
But he wouldn't do the rapes in his own town.
Mm-mm.
Otherwise, they would have busted him sooner.
Yeah. He was smart about
That's
that.
actually smart, yeah.
He was smart about that.
Yeah. He
Don't
went by
do your killing in your
Vassallo
own backyard.
Ransacker, East Area Rapist, East Side Rapist, East Bay Rapist, Creek Bed Killer, Diamond Knot Killer, Original Night Stalker, Aaron's Erons, or whatever, Golden State Killer. His two occupations were a police officer and a mechanic.
Yeah. Now, I think he actually got fired as a police officer, didn't he?
I believe so.
After threatening the police chief.
Yep. He was married from 1973 and was divorced in 2019.
Yeah, the woman stayed with him.
It took him that long to get caught.
Yeah.
It took that freaking long
Yeah.
for them to piece together that it was this person. And she was with him that whole time.
Span of crimes, 74 to 86.
But he also had the perfect alibi. Like, hey, I'm working late. I'm working a case. I'm going to be out.
13 plus murdered, 51 plus raped, 120 plus burglared.
Yeah. And what got him fired from the police department, though, was shoplifting. A
Yep.
hammer and dog repeller. And that got him fired from the police department.
Crazy. The man was sick.
Yeah.
Man was sick. He thought he had to take it in, how to stay out of it by being in law enforcement. So here's one of yours protecting you, doing this stuff to you.
But then he gets busted and kicked out of the police force for the simplest, dumbest fucking reason.
Right?
You get caught on tape, you get caught by somebody grabbing a candy bar or some shit and throw it in your pocket.
But he
Who didn't think their career was going to be over after that?
But he didn't steal.
It was an example. I don't know what he stole.
He stole a hammer and dog repellent.
Oh.
Okay, that should have raised some weird questions right there, personally, if I was,
And that's what got him fired.
It's like, man, if you would have stole a candy bar, we could have gave you a suspension,
Yeah.
swept it under the rug. But you
But he
stole
stole
a
a
hammer
weapon.
dog repellent? Come on now.
He stole a weapon.
Exactly. You stole a weapon. We can't save you from that.
Yeah, he...
Just buy the hammer and steal the dog repellent. You'll be fine next time. If there wasn't, if you wanted to, you should have done that. You'd have been fine. We could have swept it under the rug. But sorry, here's your walking papers. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, that should have been their
Leave
first.
your gun at the counter on the way out
Yeah.
the door, though.
That should have been their clue. He didn't
Sorry,
want
go ahead.
receipt of that.
I mean, this guy had a long streak of rapes, burglaries, murders, and got away with it for that many years. Didn't he also like have encryption messages and?
Yeah, he would make phone calls.
Yeah, he would make. He would taunt the police.
He taunt them.
He wouldn't taunt the people too. He would call the people, the victims
Yeah.
that he assaulted, and just perverted phone calls, breathing heavily.
Here's the poem that was supposedly written by him.
Oh, I don't. Okay, go ahead.
Do we want to hear it?
Sure.
Excitement's crave.
Oh,
Yeah. All those mortals surviving birth upon facing maturity take inventory of their worth to prevailing society. Choosing values becomes a task oneself must seek satisfaction. The selected route will unmask character when plans take action. Accepting some work to perform at a fixed pay but promise for more is a recognized social norm, as is decorum seeking lore. Achieving while others lifting should be cause for deserving fame. Leisure tempts excitement seeking. What's right and expected seems tame. Jesse James has been seen by all, and Son of Sam has an author. Others now feel temptation's call. Sacramento should make an offer to make a movie of my life that will pay for my planned exile. Just now I'd like to add the wife of a mafia lord to my file. Your East Area rapist and deserving pest. See you in the press or on TV.
Jesus.
He was sick and demented.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He wanted to get caught so he could be famous.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted fame. He wanted some type of record.
And he called all the time.
But it took him until 2018 to arrest his ass.
It's crazy, huh? Long running.
Started in the 70s
Yeah.
Yeah.
and didn't get caught until 2018.
Well, I know there was a journalist following and actually assisting and investigating to help with his capture, and she ended up accidentally overdosing on sleeping pills because she invested so much time into this. She wrote a book on this, and she had nightmares, and
Yeah.
she killed herself over it. You know,
It's crazy it took him that long.
but her work, yeah, helped. But
Piece it
yeah, took
together.
that long.
Guy was that cryptic.
He was that cryptic and
And they showed him; he's all old and
Yeah.
but yeah.
like,
He's had to live pretty much his whole life
yeah. But it's like,
with these crimes in the back, what he's done. And he's just now paying for it.
But showing no remorse.
he doesn't. No.
Shows no remorse about it.
It's interesting how he was able to just, switch it off for so long. So
Yeah.
he was able to get away with it. I mean, basically, he flipped a switch, went and killed a bunch of people. Then he was able to somehow flip a switch and go, I'm a normal member of society. Like, how the fuck do you do that? Because everyone else we've done and read about.
Could you imagine being his kids?
Yeah.
Maybe he focused that type of hatred of people in another way, though.
Possibly. I don't know though.
Well, actually, there was someone who did that too. His name was Adolf Hitler. He tried channeling his rage into painting and said, "Oh fuck this! I'm invading Poland."
And I'm killing all
And we
the
got
Jews.
World War II. I mean, he killed the Jews and they got World War II.
Yeah.
I mean, thankfully, this guy didn't decide to try and start a war here in the States. But I mean,
He had the mentality to
exactly. I mean,
try.
he was because
he wanted that power. Yeah.
right before he got all that power and just went mad and wanted to kill everything. He was a normal person. He just and he could help most of the people when he was in his off time. He talked and Adolf Hitler talked and acted like a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't seem like this mad, crazy fucking dictator. He seemed like any average Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently he also knew how to flip the switch off. How? I ain't got a fucking clue because that's way too goddamn scary. I mean, I'd rather them just be 24/7 serial
Crazy.
killer.
Yeah, actually, for
Yeah,
some
24/7 is crazy.
Jason's
He's
triggered
identified.
right now.
So you want him to be like you? Nuts.
I am
You're
not
not serial
24.
killer. You're not serial killer scary. I would tell you if you were. Believe me.
Thank you. I'm glad she can identify, but now that makes me worried on why she can identify.
I just know.
There's that music I was looking for earlier.
Sorry. Well, this has been an interesting episode.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it has.
This might be a two-parter.
Yeah.
This is our nice long episode for your October spooky time.
And this is only just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah, we can do a whole series on this.
And I mean a tip of the iceberg just for America. If we wanted, we could check out the rest of the world because there's plenty of other sickos out there too.
Oh yeah, there's tons of sickos.
This could be like the entire month. The month of October, month of serial killers. Serial killer month. That's the word. There you go.
Alrighty, guys, it's been Fear in the Southwest podcast. Stay spooky.
Don't let anybody slit your throat.
Oh my god.
No
Lock
killing
the-
people either.
Just lock your doors.
Lock your doors.
Lock your-
And windows.
Keep an eye on your kids.